What's up, guys? It's Max again. This is the third and final TvP opener that I'm going to be uploading on Sunday, March 25th. And this is going to cover the build that I developed over my 10 games that I did for the Day 9 Adjustment Daily. And I'll put a link in the description to that daily, where it was a Newbie Tuesday, where he asked for players to record in between each game in a certain matchup, to play 10 games of a certain matchup, and in between each game of the matchup you were going to record in a notepad or something what you thought of the game and what adjustment you were going to make before the next game. So what I ended up doing is I played 10 TvPs and I played the same build, which was a 1 racks expand into 3 racks with double gas. And I made adjustments after each game, and this is the sort of final build that I came up with. So I'm just going to showcase it for you guys here. I got a lot of people asking for it after the daily came out, and a lot of you guys thought it was pretty cool. So I'm glad that you enjoyed that daily, and I want to thank Day 9 for choosing my games to show. And I hope that you guys will find it interesting as well. So here, walling at Tal'Darim Altar, you can position your buildings like I did here with that first depot to the left a little bit up, and it allows you to wall in with the barracks. At 13 supply, I went ahead and rallied my SCV to the wall, built a depot, didn't finish it, and sent that guy to scout, and then I finished the depot with the SCV that was building the barracks after he finished building the barracks. I get a 16th SCV from the command center, and I get a orbital command right after that. And I start Marines the second the barracks is done. I'm going to go ahead and expand here at 400 minerals, and then we'll be getting a bunker, 2 more barracks, and then double gas. If you guys have noticed these 3 videos that I'm doing with the TvP openers, I've disabled the unit sounds, the ambient sounds, and a lot of other sounds. So basically all you hear is SCVs mining, units shooting, and the adjutant noises, you know, like upgrade complete, additional supply depots required, or something like that. And I think it's really soothing to play the game like that. So yeah, that's what I do. You get that bunker down right at about 4 minutes is a good time to get it, because it'll be there, it'll be completed just in time for the Zealot Stalker. I go ahead and pause the game here. I'm not sure why. I probably was thinking I was going to edit this part out, but I'm just going to go ahead and talk a little bit. This build is extremely good on a large map like Tal'Darim Altar. It's not so good on a smaller map where Protoss can put on a lot of aggression early on. And what that usually means is that you'll see it on bigger maps, especially maps like Shakuras Plateau and Antigua Shipyard, which have a secondary ramp at the natural. And what that does is it allows you to defend some 1 base pushes, some even 2 base all-in pushes from Protoss. Much easier, because they do have to push up onto the high ground, and they get getting the vision is a little bit challenging for them. On a map like Core Hall Compound, Metalopolis, Shadow Temple, you might want to check out the 2 racks guides that I just made, because those are a little bit better builds just in general on smaller maps like those. So at 300 minerals after your your bunkers started, you're going to get these 2 barracks to the left, and then at 150 minerals after that, you're going to get those 2 gases like I just did there. And of course that's without sacrificing SCV and Marine production. I'm again playing against nobody. I just removed the AI and I loaded up the game, and it's just going to be a pure build order guide so you guys can see what I do if I'm not under any pressure. And when you're playing, this is kind of what you want to... This is a good way to practice, actually, to practice the build order, is to play against nobody. And then when you're playing, sort of just ignore what they're doing, just macro, and then once you max out, then you can go attack them. And if you're in the lower level, this actually is something really nice to practice. Just remove the AI from the lobby and see how quickly you can max out. And just try to do that in a regular game. And I think you'll find that if you can do what you do in the practice game in a regular game, then you can improve very fast. When those 2 racks finish, you're going to get a tech lab on 1, and then build Marines with the other 2. When the tech lab is finished, start concussive shell in a marauder right away. Of course, you want to get a depot around 31, 32 supply just so you don't get supply blocked. After your marauder and concussive shell start, you can go ahead and get that factory down with the next 100 gases you see that I did there. I delay my third gas until I start at stim. This is one of the adjustments I made, and it made the build feel a little bit smoother to me. So now you want to be building depots, one after the other, to not get supply blocked. And then you're going to be teching up to medevacs rather quickly.
Research.
When stim starts, I go ahead and throw down my third gas, just as you see there. And as my second marauder comes out, of course, if you scouted that he's going to be expanding, then this is a nice time to push out onto the map. You have a good amount of bio units. You can clear any proxy pylons around your third if you'd like. And you can go ahead and take the watchtowers. When the factory's done, throw down a reactor and starport immediately. And then I get my other two add-ons. So you'll see here that that's a tech lab that's building right there, and I'm going to lift my barracks back so that I can have space to put the reactor. And right about this time, I throw down my eBay as well in the main.
Add-on.
Now, I get combat shield here, but you really want to be delaying combat shield with this. That was sort of an instinct thing. I forgot that I need to delay it because I want to be getting those double medevacs out quickly. And that's so that I can do a push with stim and concussive shell and do possible drop harassment. In which combat shield is not going to be extremely helpful early on, but you definitely want to get that eventually. So from this point, you just want to be building marauders and marines out of these three barracks, build your two medevacs, and then get just keep building SCVs and supply depots.
Complete.
The reactor's going to finish, so start two marines there. And then the eBay can be used now when you get 100 gas. You may feel as if you need to get your fourth gas early. I would recommend against this, actually. Usually you want to put that down as you're adding on something that's going to cost gas in the long run, like a Ghost Academy or an Armory, because you're going to be getting your 2-2 upgrades then. You should try to sort of delay that gas, and you're going to feel like maybe you're a little low on it, but it's going to work out better for you in the long run. So I'm breaking down my rocks here to get my third base. And I throw down 2 more barracks because I like to go up to 5 barracks before I get my third base. It's a little bit safer play. And it's also one of the adjustments that I did in the daily near, I think it was the 9th or 10th game. I'm not sure. Maybe 8th. But yeah. So I throw down my third command center at the third. If you're feeling a little bit under pressure, you may want to put it down in base and float it over later. And then I just transfer some SCVs here because I noticed I was a little bit oversaturated in the main. So on here I like to get 1 reactor and 1 tech lab just so I can have a bit even proportion on the add-ons. You do want to be getting a lot of marines in TvP. You don't want to be going so marauder heavy because marines steal a ton of DPS to zealots, and once they get charged, zealots are pretty tough to deal with. So of course if you go marine heavy, it's going to help you out. So this video, I'm actually going to run it out until I max, just to show you guys what I was talking about earlier, where if you're training a build order or you're a newer player, this is a good exercise to do, with just remove the opponent from the lobby and play until you're max and try to beat your record every time. So I go and transfer SCVs here, and as you saw, I got my armory and my second eBay in the main, and that's going to be for my double ups. Make an orbital here. Typically in TvP you want the first 3 bases to be orbitals, and then once you get your 4th, that's a lot of times going to be out of the way, so it's danger. Zealot harassment is a danger, so a lot of players will make that into a planetary. Depending on what you've seen, you're going to want to either throw down a second starport or Ghost Academy. Usually Ghost Academy at 12 minutes is a fair timing for it. So I'm throwing down 3 more barracks here to go up to 8 barracks. Off 3 bases is a good benchmark if you want to use that. And I like to have 3 reactors and 5 tech labs. I found is a ratio that works pretty well for me at my level. So I go ahead and get those upgrades. You want to be starting ship weapons with the armory. And that's very important because your Vikings need to be doing more damage to the Colossi. When the Ghost Academy is finished, you want to be getting your Mobius Reactor, and that's so that when that is half done, you can start your Ghosts, and they'll spawn with more energy than if Mobius Reactor wasn't completed. So from this point, I'm just making sure my bases have a somewhat even distribution of SCVs, not getting supply blocked, As you can see, my supply is getting pretty high here. I'm going to add on the second starport because you're going to want to get that eventually, even if he hasn't opened Colossi, because you're going to want to have your Viking production up to par with the amount of bases that he's taking and you're taking. So at this point, I'm getting close to maxed, and I want to
Add-on complete.
be mindful of which units I'm adding on. I'm going to take a fourth here because if nothing's going on and we're not trading units, then of course you're going to want to keep expanding. And just to cap off my supply, I'm going to want to add ghosts. So I go ahead here and I get 3 or 4 ghosts
Depleted.
uh,
Upgrade.
because you don't want to be maxed and then need to produce ghosts and Vikings,
Add-on.
which can be very dangerous in the late game. So always make sure that you're maxing out as a Terran in TvP with the correct tech units. So now I'm maxed at 200 supply at about 1445.
Mineral field
So if you guys want to
depleted.
do this build, see if you can beat my time, and I challenge you to do that. I don't know why I booked this Reaper. That's kind of weird. That was a misclick by me, so I ended up killing it off just for fun. But I hope you enjoyed this video and my other 2 TvP opening videos. Oh yeah, cloak is very important too. Make sure you get that after Mobius. You're going to want to snipe observers with your extra scans, and then
Add-on
cloak in,
complete.
snipe the Templar and stuff. So here's my army. We haven't
Upgrade
traded, so
complete.
obviously I'm heavy on the Marine Marauder and not so heavy on the Vikings and Ghosts. But I challenge you guys to max out faster than me.
Mineral field
Do this kind of
depleted.
thing to practice your macro. It's very helpful. So please rate, comment, subscribe, and give me suggestions in the comments for videos that you'd like me to produce in the future. Thanks for watching. I'm out. Later.